Yeah. Just wait for a while. Oh, starting. Yes.
Hello. Hey Ondi. Hey Manang. Anyone else? Yeah? Let's see. Is there anyone else? I see on my screen 0 views. Huh? No one here. That is weird. Hello? Is there anyone out there? I see one people watching.
Already 16.
Okay. All right. So there are 16 people watching. Yeah, Ivan. 9 now. Okay. For whatever reason, the analytics that we see here is slightly delayed compared to the actual count of the people viewing. Okay. First and foremost, Assalamualaikum guys. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to our July's webinar. This webinar will be very different compared to what we have done in the past, because we'll be talking very little about property, but we'll be talking about future trends that can basically impact what's going to happen to property values in the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years. By my estimation, things will go status quo for the next 15 to 20 years, and after that it will be slightly more interesting because the technology advancement will be very, very different, and then that will have an impact towards property values. Wassalam Faiz, wassalam Mak Syafi'i, wassalam Faisal. Okay, about to start. Yeah. So I think without further ado and delay, let's quickly start our session today. Okay. So I went to this Singularity Summit, okay, in Thailand on the 4th of Raya, and I went there with a simple and single mission of what's going to happen to property values moving forward. That is the answer that I want to find out. And one of my business mentor who basically went to a full program 3 minggu in San Francisco, US, told me this program is life changing, and he began to utter some quite crazy stuff and he has encouraged me to go. I went. I was actually quite blown away. I come out from the summit in a way more confused than ever, if I were to put it very mildly. But as the day goes by, then certain things becomes clearer and clearer and clearer to me. I don't have the answer for you right now in terms of what's going to happen to property value over the next 5 to 10 years, because I really think for now it looks to be like a status quo. Okay, but after that, like I said, it's going to get a bit more interesting because of everything that I'm going to show to you sekejap lagi. So the title today is really about innovation and what's going on in the world. We think the future is so far ahead, but the reality is that if you are talking about flying cars already exist, people. Okay, so like I said, let's go down to it. So the thing that I learned is that what does it mean to have an exponential growth? Okay, so there's a couple of things that's basically driving this behavior. So to put things into perspective, what 10, 11 years can do. Okay, 11 years ago, if you can see here, Amazon, okay, was top 10, part of the top 10 biggest retailers in US. Okay, I think they're number 7 at 17B. Yeah, and you know, but you fast forward 11 years, many of these guys, okay, 80% from the list have basically registered a negative growth of change in value. Sears have went 94% value drop, whereas Amazon went from 17B to be worth 675 billion. Okay, so that's not 10 times growth. Okay, that is easily a 40 times growth. Hang on. Correct? 40 times growth. Okay, that's just crazy. How can one company defy the odds, okay, and register 40 times growth when the rest of them, with the exception of Walmart, has shrinked? Okay, so the answer here is that is the trend of people basically begin to buy stuff online because it's far more convenient for them to do so. So if you think innovation is something that will take a very, very slow time, you know, we can all relax, sit on our laurels, I think we are all wrong. Okay, so like I said, to put things into perspective, this one is applicable for business owners who are like me and some of, you know, our clients here today. This is also highly applicable to employees. Okay, if you are the buying manager for Sears, where do you go as of today now? Right? Because why? A AI robotic and system will be able to know what can potentially sell better in the next 6 months than you. Okay, so the reality is that a lot of the nature of the jobs are changing and the nature of business are changing. So this slide basically shows 10 years it's a long time. Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, so people always used to think, you know, and when Sears was interviewed 10 years ago and they were asked about Walmart, they were asked about Amazon, they say Amazon was not even a competition. Okay, this one even more crazy. Okay, 1958, 2 transistors. Okay, 1971, the same size board has got 2,300 transistors. 2016, 14.4 billion transistors in the same size board. Okay, so the reality here is that it has gotten much faster, it has also gotten much cheaper too. So it's 330 billion fold improvement in over just 45 years. Okay, this one, the IBM that weighs a couple of tons, okay, 5 megabytes cost 120,000 in 1956. Micro SD ini, you know, if you remember this, 2005, 128 meg, okay, $99. Now today, 128 gigabytes is $99. So again, from a technology point of view, it's moving way faster than a lot of people have anticipated. And I mean, if you follow Moore's law, okay, it has basically predicted that processing power and price, okay, processing power will double every 18 months and the price will drop by half. Okay, that's what it basically says. That has basically enabled many of innovations, yeah, for example, like this and this. Okay, and the concept here is that to use technology to take what is scarce today and make it abundant. Okay, so basically right now, for example, you know, diamond is the biggest lie, you know. So you know, and diamond is not rare at all. And as of today, you can produce flawless cut diamond 1 carat for $5. Okay, for $5. Okay, so the idea here is you use technology to make things which is as of today limited, yeah, in terms of what is available, to make it more abundant. Okay, so this is where things are heading, whereby you have a bunch of satellites giving free internet. You've got drones flying, delivering stuff to you and doing stuff on behalf of humans. You've got autonomous driving, and then you've got AR glasses that, well, I don't know what the hell does the AR glasses do lah, but basically picturing things lah. So don't be surprised whereby when you see later property viewings can be done using AR glasses. Okay, now you probably be wondering, what the hell is this? Okay, now you know what satellite is, right? And satellite used to cost a few hundred million, and it weighs a couple of tons. This is basically a satellite that is launched by school at a cost of $25,000 only. So dulu kerajaan miliki satellite, now today even schools can launch satellites. Yeah? So, well, like I said lah, it's a little bit crazy lah. Yeah? The moment you see these things. Okay. This one is predicting the death of car ownership. Okay, whereby as of today, to lease a car in Europe, okay, the cost now has become less than €100 a month to lease cars. You no longer have to buy this anymore. You just have to lease. Less than €100 a month. And it costs less than 10 cents per kilometer. Okay. And do you think it's going to get cheaper over time? I'm sure it would be. Okay. Other things happening in the world. Uber bought 24,000 self-driving cars from Volvo. Okay, so actually not bad lah, you know, Geely, you know, power lah Geely. After they take over Volvo tu, you know, their cars are quite high tech lah. So I went to an open house during Raya, and one of the people who were on the table with me was the head of Proton Mini Sales. So Ton actually drive the latest Proton car, and he was very impressed because everything that he wants can be done by voice control. Buka sunroof, you know, kurangkan aircon, low volume, you know, you just have to say it and the car will do it for you. And this is a Geely car, right? So 24,000, okay, and Uber is buying. So what's going to happen to the drivers today driving Uber? Okay. Want to ambil Ahmad Maslan punya recommendation buat dua kerja pun dah tak boleh dah. Right? So you think self-driving cars is crazy? Wait until you see self-driving helicopter taxi. Okay, if you are wondering why does this helicopter looks like Airwolf, because Bell was the company that basically produced Airwolf last time. Okay, and this project has got $1 billion funding. Okay, and you know, Airbus is also doing something. Yeah, together with Bell, they actually funded Bell, and of course they are also doing something. So 4 people can sit it, and then fully autonomous. Okay, so testing in 2018 this is not 2028 2018. Okay, So this is what's going on in the world from a technological point of view. Okay, now some of this sharing might worry you personally from a job security point of view. It might also cause you to rethink what are your plans for your children. Okay, like I said, it's pretty hard to imagine stuff, but I think you should know, right? And if you see me suddenly saying next year my kids now is homeschool, now you know lah. I'm able to successfully convince my wife to follow this particular path. Okay. Okay. This is on the energy sector, whereby you now have drones, okay, doing infrared, autonomously flying and inspecting pipelines. Okay. So I would think one of the biggest hit, okay, from an employment point of view is going to be energy, for multiple reasons. Number one, solar cost has become cheaper than wind, okay, for the first time in history. And because of that, the dependence towards oil and coal will become lesser and lesser over time, right? There are more need for electric vehicles, so again, lower consumption of oil, right? So if we were to summarize this, right, any job whereby the human is very highly paid, okay, there's going to be motivation for companies to automate. Okay, so this is basically one of it. Okay, this one, okay, is a medication that you can consume like eating a Panadol, okay, whereby it becomes inactive until it sees a cancer cell, right? So essentially, chemotherapy might no longer be required in the next 5 years. Okay, makan pill, you can shrink the cancer cells. Now, of course, all of this is part of a study, dia belum konklusif lagi, but the average life occupancy as of today is about 60 globally. Thanks to invention and breakthrough we have in the medical field, these guys are now predicting that most likely the average occupancy for us is going to be 90. Okay, so we will all be productive like Tone at 90 years old, right? So that's that. This one affects property, okay, and of course you've got the drones, you know, looking after construction sites. So from security to monitoring of employees, you know. So what happened to the supervisor? Right? So these are the skill sets that when most people were interviewed after attending such event, that they think and we think would probably going to be the most important in the next 20 years, you know, because I mean, let's put it this way lah. If your job is part of a process, they can build a computer program to take over that. It can be automated, right? So the idea here is that the technology shouldn't be feared, but you know, it should be used to make us able to do more better, meaningful jobs. You know, look at NASA, right? So what I got from the university here is that someone a program can do a much better job at analyzing the market than him. So essentially, technically, he will be out of job, you know, if he continues to do exactly what he does as of today. But the idea here is to empower people to do more meaningful job. So rather than him scraping and having to do research for the next 3 to 4 hours just to come up with one simple conclusion, the idea here is that system will be able to do that for him, and he can go on and do more important stuff. Yeah, like for example, analyzing anomalies, okay, between multiple properties dekat Wangsa Maju, you know, rather than trying to get the hard data. Okay, so basically all these monotonous operational jobs can be replaced. Okay, so these are the things that they think, I mean, like for us and for our children, what are the most important things, okay, that we should have. And we can see here, analysis is only 5%, simply because a computer can do a better job than human at this. Okay. There's a couple of things, if you notice the trend, and that they have tried doing up a NDA, okay, NDA. This is for lawyers, so they got about 15 top legal associates to go through the NDA to go and find out what is wrong with it. Okay, and then they got, if I'm not mistaken, IBM Watson to go and do the same job. Okay, IBM Watson, the AI program, was able to spot 93% of what's wrong with the NDA, while the legal associates was able to spot 87% of what is wrong, right, with the NDA. You'll be thinking, you know what, 93% and 87, not big of a difference. Now here's the kicker. The computer did it in 20 seconds. The legal associates did it in 3 hours. Okay. So, if you are thinking of, you know, training your son or daughter to become lawyer, think again. Okay, I have to rethink my plans for my daughter now, because, you know, I was hoping that she could become a lawyer one day. Now I have to rethink that, knowing this. Okay, now the rest of you don't laugh yet. Let's talk about doctor. Okay, and I'm looking at the report, and the report basically compares a bunch of top brain doctors in Japan match against AI. Okay, match against AI. So they find out that again, AI was able to diagnose, first round of diagnosis, 80% accuracy versus 63% accuracy of the doctors. Second round, the gap was even wider. Okay, so essentially from a diagnostic point of view, doctors, again, young future doctors are in it for a lifetime now. The one whereby most likely tak ada risk is probably the surgeons. Okay, because right now to train robotics to do surgery is not so easy. Number two, I believe the patient still wants human to operate them, and in the event, you know, there's a complication, I guess humans are better at dealing with that compared to a program. Okay, so this is what's happening. Okay, and now let's look at how, you know, what are things happening that will impact properties. Okay, so this is the first one whereby they actually issue a bond. It's Berkeley City, okay, in US. They basically issued a bond using blockchain. Okay, so as a result, okay, they don't have to pay $1 million of fees to bankers. Okay, So if you're in the financial sector, don't be so happy yet lah. Just now you padan muka engineer, doctor and lawyer, and now financial sector, we are all going to be impacted too. Okay. So when they are asked, would they do this again? They say, of course, hell yes, and they are now encouraging other states and other cities to go and do the same, because the speed of being able to issue the bond and the cost wise and the transparency of it is actually much greater when they are actually on blockchain. Okay. This one, self-explanatory. 3D printed house. So design it, put it in the computer, a printer will print it for you in the next couple of days. How cool is that? Okay. So do you require an employee to do this? Not really. Okay. So does it take you 2 years to build a house? Not really. So technically, the cost to build this should become cheaper, and of course the cost of 3D printing should go down over time because, well, Moore's law says double the performance, half of the price every 18 months. So as of today, 3D printers are extremely expensive, but over time, because of technological advancement, it's going to become cheaper. Solar panels are 250 times cheaper today compared to, you know, when it was launched about 30-40 years ago. Okay, so technologies like this will become cheaper. Now, whether land price will become cheaper over time, I highly doubt it. Yeah. Unless you can 3D print lands, okay, which as of today, I don't think anyone is thinking or doing. Point number one. Point number two is that this one is a single story house, okay, but can you 3D print a 20-story building? Yeah. I'm not sure how that one is going to be done. No? Okay. So, but this is a trend. This is coming. So you know, if it does happen in the next 10 to 30 years, then you could be looking at, you know, from design to printing your dream bungalow in a matter of days. Yeah. This one is the life expectancy globally. So up until the 19th century, our average life expectancy is about 40 years old. So people tend to die at about 40, 45 lah, ish. Okay. And if you can see here, it has basically gone up. Okay, up to 70 plus now. Okay, 70 plus years now. Now, thanks to technological advancement and the fact that we can now, you know, eat pills and potentially cure cancer, okay, they are now predicting about we can now extend life all the way to 90. So, what does this basically mean, guys? So that would basically means we need more money to, you know, if you are budgeting to die at 75, I think stop doing it lah. You need to budget that you die until 90 lah. So your retirement plan now you kena tukar sikit. Okay, so that's why property best. Tak payah jual, you simpan je dapat 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000 all the way until 90 as long as tak jual. Right? So you're already in the right track by becoming a client. So like I said, be prepared. Right now, for example, you know, jantung, they showed a video whereby the heart valve that needs to be replaced, they actually 3D print that piece and then they basically saw it and it can be used, working order. Okay, so like I said lah, there's a lot of crazy things which has basically happened. Okay, I would also think as people live longer, the need for housing should actually go up lah. Betul tak? right? The need for housing should actually go up because you know before this 70 dah mati dah, rumah tu dah boleh jual kepada orang muda. Now 20 more extra years, you see. So tak mati-mati lagi. So with that, so potentially you need more houses because you've got people living all the way up until 90. Okay, if this were to be true. The other thing that here is that if you are talking about the number of family per children, children per family, terbalik lah, right? So you can see here, as people become more and more illiterate and they have better quality of living, you know, there are no more or there are very few people who are on the hardcore poor punya scale, right? They tend to have lesser children as people becomes more educated, more connected, more, you know, customized to the current lifestyle, right? So you can see here the number of childbirth per family has actually gone down steadily. Okay, people were talking about potentially, you know, we gonna have by 2050 12 billion population. When they run the projections, most likely will do under 9, most likely. Yeah? Even with the expanded, you know, longevity of, you know, the older people like us nanti, right? So yeah. So what has happened is that the more advanced the country become, the more educated a person become, the lower number of children they end up having. Okay. So basically, this is what they are saying in order to survive exponentialism. Okay. Do not fear demonetization. Maksudnya pasal duit lah, right? Just do it anyhow, right? And if you're in a business or you're in a service, do it that basically serves in a way a need of the reptile brain. You know, Maslow, you know, needs, right? As long as you stick to that, you should be fine. Okay, and of course, continue to always innovate. The interesting thing, about this is that they are talking about ownership will go down of properties. Okay, virtualization will go up, decentralization will go up. So that means people are no longer required to be in the middle of a city and apa semua tu, and the production cost will go down. Okay, because of the 3D printers and parts being able to scale it, so things are going to become cheaper. So because of that, they are foreseeing that potentially there's an oversupply of properties. I do not buy it because I think this theory did not take into consideration the emotional element of, for example, you know, an Asian guy who, you know, who has been told the first thing you need to do the moment you grow up, got a job, get married, is to buy a house. I think it failed to take into consideration those things. Point number one, they are predicting that value of property could end up plateauing or going down, which again I don't think is going to happen in the next 20 years. Again, like I said, didn't take into consideration emotional values. It did not take into consideration cultural values, right? So again, like I said, very strong opinions, strong concept. I don't necessarily believe everything is gonna happen the next 5 months, right? 50 years maybe. Until then, I think we still have plenty of room to grow, yeah, before that basically happens. Yeah. So that's the impact towards property in general. They think there's going to be an oversupply. The interesting thing here is that I would agree with them maybe for commercial properties. For residential, probably not yet. Yeah. And I think the biggest proof and evidence for this is actually if just go back to San Francisco, whereby you have all this autonomous driving, you know, and you know, orang cakap groundbreaking technologies are all being hailed from there lah, yeah. Yet the property values and the rental values and the food price in San Francisco is actually very expensive. Okay, I think 3-star hotel kat sana pun is 1,000 ringgit per night. Okay, it's more expensive than certain parts of New York. Okay, so until we see a drop in San Francisco property value, I think we are going to be okay lah. And we still have to wait until those things comes to Asia and then comes to Malaysia. Like I said lah, it's still a good easily 10, 15 to 20 years, you know, before any of this technology will have any form of impact towards property values. Okay, so interesting, very thought-provoking 2 days for me. You know, I came back with a different perspective. I no longer view, you know, you can assume that you have a property value go up by 5% every year for the next 50 years. I no longer want to subscribe to that view, simply because to a certain extent, a lot of things that they discuss is happening will impact property values. Question is how fast. I'm looking at a 20 to 30 years time horizon before we see a real impact of that. But otherwise, you know, but even then, even when it happened, I don't think you'll be able to buy property 20 years later at the price today lah. So I think it will go up and then it will stay flat. Okay, so we are still here, so there are still way to go, yeah, in terms of price growth. So don't worry so much. I'm honestly not. I'm more aware. Like I said, it has changed the fact from, you know, 5% appreciation per annum seems to be acceptable for the next 50 years to not really. Maybe you can predict slightly higher in the first 10 to 20 years, and then after that you begin to plateau. Okay. Okay. So going back to the real world today, right? Some market updates. Okay. NPL, it has gone up now to almost 26 billion as far as May 2018 is concerned. Savings is still healthy at 1.8 trillion savings in the banking system today. So extremely healthy versus 25 billion worth of NPL, right? So 1.8 trillion savings, 25 billion NPL. It's okay, we're okay. Okay. Projects for your consideration, similar to the last webinar. This one is PPX, own stay. You are basically buying a new property completed, selling 15% cheaper than 2 or 3 years ago. Far Capital clients gets a 18% discount plus 2%, right? So and plus 7% for Bumi, right? So it's the cheapest tier 2 new semi-D you could buy anywhere in Klang Valley as of today by a top 10 developer. For me, for own stay, this is a confirmed grade A. But of course, you know, the nature of landed property is not meant for cash flow, so it's going to be cash flow negative. So look at this if you are looking to upgrade, especially if you currently stay in a landed property which is 600,000-700,000, you know, might as well just, you know, top up 100,000 more and stay in a semi-D. Okay. So this is new, this is awesome product. So for own stay, I think it's perfect. For investment, okay if you are willing to hold for at least 3 to 5 years before the area becomes a little bit more mature and you see some form of capital appreciation. But we think price point wise it will stay flat for the next 1 to 2 years, yeah? until commercially becomes a lot more vibrant. Okay. This one is CZX. Okay, we've been doing this for quite a few months now. Cheapest property, 3-bedroom, you can buy nearby MRT station, less than 350,000, 1,000 capital outflow, possible multiple submission. Far Capital client get minimum 1% discount. The landed just now you get minimum 2, yeah. And then KX, dual key units. There are still some units available. Okay, MRT 3 line no more there. Far capital minimum discount is 1%. Price going up soon. It has actually gone up by about 5,000 or 6,000, right? 5,000-6,000 only lah, right? So it's still decent, it's still grade A, you know, and dual key is awesome. Okay, and 7XX, again, this one is completed freehold if you want something that you can rent out immediately. Super low density, less than 300 units. Cashback of 60k, which you can use for renovation. This is truly a zero down deal. One of the cheapest new completed condo nearby MRT station, and Far Capital client on top of the 18% discount gets an additional 3% discount. Okay, so awesome deals. If you are looking to buy, please reach out to your private WhatsApp group and then ask for the info pack. You know, if you paid your annual fees, we'll send it to you. Otherwise, please pay your annual fees and renew. Yeah. So announcement. Okay, little update about Selayang Star City. We have out of 300 clients, we have about 15 clients who basically bought Selayang Star City back in 2015, 2016. Some of them are very worried with the fact that the construction has been delayed by 18 months. You know, I've said this many times in the past. I like it if the project gets delayed because, you know, every year, averagely, property values in Selangor actually go up by about 6 to 7% in the last 16 years, right, for high rise. So if it delays by 2 years, my interest that I pay is very little, 300 ringgit versus a 6%, 7% a year increase, right? So the longer delayed for me is the better, because I only pay little interest to gain a 6% gain over 300,000 your price point or 18,000. Yeah? But you know, we take note. Just to update, developer has basically gotten a private equity to do a JV, and the private equity has actually agreed to inject 40 million investment in exchange of share in Selayang Star City. And these guys are from Hong Kong. PE guys used to be from Solomon Brothers. Okay, so I mean, look at it this way, like guys. I mean, like, if the project is so bad, why would a Hong Kong PE guys come in and inject 40 million US dollars? Really? Are these guys dumber than, you know, us? I doubt it. You know, some of us maybe, but all of us, you know, not really. Okay. So the fact that they're willing to invest 40 million for a stake, that means they number one, they've seen the numbers, they know it makes sense. Okay, that's why they are willing to JV. The owner was a very reluctant seller, but he has got no choice because he ran out of funds, so he has to take the money in exchange of shares. Okay, if everything goes well, the money will be transferred. Bank Negara has already approved and consent the investment, so it's already written. You know, you've gotten the letters, so it's all good. And project expected to commence in the first quarter of 2019. Okay, so basically means the mall will be completed same year lah, by Christmas 2019. Okay, then they will proceed to build the block that we bought. Now, this is one of the best news that can happen to a client. Not only the project got delayed, okay, they've also been offered, Far Capital clients have been offered to take on a unit which is bigger compared to the one that they have bought. Last time we all bought studio units. Right now, we are given the option to upgrade our units. A 1+1 bedroom, okay, at the exact same price as what we have paid 2 or 3 years ago. Okay, so to me, you know, delay is great, but you know, being upgraded to a better unit, I think it's a fantastic news, right? So for all clients who are affected, to me, please take it, sign the deal. You know, it's a no-brainer lah. Why would we want to keep a studio when we can get 1+1 bedroom for the exact same price? You don't have to pay a single cent extra here. Okay, and the other thing that developer has agreed to give, okay, to clients is that interest during construction until the next building phase. So that means until they build up to the floor that you bought will be actually absorbed by the developer. Okay. So again, there's really nothing for the clients to be worried about. You know, you got a better unit, you get your interest during construction up until they build the next phase, complete the mall, build the next phase to be absorbed by the developer. And then instead of a studio unit, you got 1+1 bedroom. And again, you know, some of you might know this, might not know this. Okay, actually, ever since the project stopped working, right, the construction has stopped. You know, we have taken the responsibility to offer to clients who wanted to JV with us. So that means if you are worried about this project and you worried that it's not going to make it, okay, we can actually come in to JV with the client. All right, so we've got 15 clients. So far, only 2 has basically said, okay, Faizul, you know, I want to JV with you because financially I'm not the most strongest. Okay, but the rest of them doesn't seem like they want to JV lah. Okay, I think they're a little bit more tamak lah than the rest, and they've got better holding power. So like I said, you know, I don't think we have ever run away. We have been very transparent. We've been very candid with what's going on. We kept clients updated as and when we hear any news. We have continuously worked with the developer and pushed them to make sure that our clients are getting a fair deal. And I'm very happy to announce that after 18 months, okay, of doing so, our clients are getting a much better deal than what we all signed up for 18 months ago, 24 months ago. But again, you know, if you're still worried and you don't want to take this burden alone, you know, I'm more than happy now that, you know, we're getting a better deal and you still want to JV with me. I'm very, very happy to go and do it, right? So clients who are affected, please let us know. And, you know, for clients who didn't buy but heard rumors, you hear it from me now. I didn't run away. We didn't run away. Our office is still here. Nas is still here working. You know, we have guaranteed every single one of the clients who bought Sayang Star City, in the event the project get delayed, we will go in and buy 50% shares and we will pay until it completed, even though after 10 years. Okay, so like I said, I couldn't do better than this. I couldn't do more than this. I want to be fair to my clients who have supported us, who trusted our judgment. In a way, the greediness of the developer has caused them to run into a financial issue. Bayangkan, the owner holds 99.97% share, okay, of the company and refused to sell shares in order to get financing. So now that he is agreeable to do so, okay, and you know, the big bonus here is that the clients are getting a better units. I'm so happy for them, and you know, developers agreed to pay parts of their interest, you know, during construction up until the next billing phase. So again, I couldn't ask for a better deal. I think we've gotten it. But if you are still worried about it, we are here. You know, I'm more than happy to take on 50% share. Okay, so that's for Sayang Star City. For the rest of the clients, okay, you know the annual fee structure. This is what you're gonna get: VIP, MEB seats, FRPG, one-on-one, you know, session every year, and then advice to, you know, rental, tenant, investment, webinars like this, and mortgage reduction advice. Yeah, so all of that is what you get for 1,002. When the real value here is about 12,000, okay, for this advice, right? So you only pay 1,002 to remain as a client. So it's a steal. Please renew if not, okay. By the way, also guys, in the event you decided to not to renew for whatever reason, okay, please do not think that we will just abandon you just because you don't pay, right? So for example, I had a client today who's thinking of doing refinancing, or past client who's not renewing, so ended up doing it by himself and got the loan rejected. Look, you are a client at any point of time of Far Capital. I know I want to see you do well, even though you don't think there's a need to renew, and I can empathize and understand why, you know, for example, if you bought undercon properties for the next 3 to 4 years, there's nothing in it, and you cannot buy anymore, no more 90% loan. So I understand why you don't renew, but it doesn't mean that you cannot ask for advice. You know, the team is here, the team will support you, okay. Physical work, of course, you know, time, money, semua tu kena bayar lah. But if you are talking about just for advice, pick up the phone and call us, okay, even though you are no longer a client. Yeah, That includes property that you have bought through Far Capital recommendation. Yeah, please don't be shy to pick up the phone. I'd rather you call me, get the right advice, compared to you follow the wrong advice, rugi duit, and you know your investment with Far Capital or you bought through Far Capital becomes a horrible experience. Okay, because you know didn't follow the full story. Yeah. So upcoming VP projects, okay, you know Casa Green, Green Casa, you see nama pun lebih kurang je. Casa Green dekat Bukit Jalil, Green Casa dekat Cyber South, okay, and then of course Farah, right? I think we've sent the rental strategy, we've sent the pack, we've sent the price point of both makeover guys and alternative solutions. Okay, so please again, you know, if you have not done so, inquire within your client WhatsApp group, yeah. Then client referrals scheme, you know, if you refer a client and you have done so and they end up becoming a client, you got your annual fee waived, so you get to enjoy all these wonderful services for free. Or subsequent referral dapat RM2,000 credit, okay, to be offset against next consultation fee. Okay, now the other part here is that if you love property so much and you want to learn and you want to potentially look at building a career in properties as a property negotiator, you can actually explore to become part of our below bank value punya team. Okay, FYI, we have about close to 10 clients now on BBV, right? One or two of them, okay, as a client has basically generated a passive income of above 100,000 now. Right? Because why? They are selling the exact properties that they are buying. Remember the referral fee of 1%, 2%, 3%, right? We pass to you, right? If you sell it, for example, to family members or to your friends ke apa ke semua tu, that 1%, 2% will be given to you, you know. That's your commission. So, you know, like I said, some clients dah ada yang 200,000 commission after just 6-7 months, okay? And they sell good properties, things that they buy themselves, you know. If you genuinely believe that these are good property and you're willing to buy themselves, why not let, you know, family members, just, you know, jangan cakap this is Far Capital punya recommendation lah, this is you punya recommendation, okay. So if you want to make additional income, you want to learn a bit more about properties, and of course, you know, you are looking to explore a career, you know, do join us dekat BBV. We already have 10 clients, quite a number of them have already pecah telur. So boleh lah 5,000, 10,000 every month punya sales, not too shabby lah, boleh lah. SST is coming up, so everything is going to become more expensive, by the way. Okay. You know, if you haven't renewed, please renew. Yep, your agreements, upcoming events, VIP is next month. Kalau you nak datang attend to refresh, kalau tak datang lagi tahun ni, please do come. Okay, but please highlight earlier. Alright, FRPG every week, we just finished one just now. 1-1 session for 2018. If you have not done so, please do so that we can track your progress, yeah, and advise you what's the best course of action. And of course, client webinar every first Thursday 9 o'clock. Yeah, I apologize for the delay, slightly delay today. Alright guys, we are at the end of our presentation. Okay, alright, so apa tu, do you have any questions for me or not? You know, before we call it a day. Any questions, guys? Let's see if there's any questions. Most of the comments are comments from the last one. Man Eng, yes, we do training every Tuesday night. We berkumpul at this office, and everyone comes in, and normally Adib is the team leader. As a new person, you'll be trained, but every Tuesday, 8:30 up until like normally about 11, we actually do training. Yeah. Faisal Fa app launching soon, bro. We are testing it now. Yeah. In the next couple of days, we are basically testing it. Hopefully, we can launch it by end of the month. Okay, fingers crossed. Doa-doakanlah ya. So Man Eng, if you are interested to join below bank value, please highlight to Farah and Hannah, and let us know in the group. So anyone who is interested to become part of BBV, just let us know in the group. Yeah. And then we've got quite a fair bit of clients join. Like I said lah, it's one thing to sell, one thing is to sell something that you genuinely believe lah. It's gonna be decent properties. Yeah. Best is what you buy yourself, Any other questions, guys? Okay, I mean, like, if you are having problem to ask questions here, you can basically ask in the group as well, yeah, and okay. Alright guys, if there's no more questions, I'm gonna call it a day. I'll call it a night, so that I can let my team go and we can all go home. It's been a long day for us, but if you have any inquiries whatsoever related to Far Capital and the projects that we are looking at and the things that we are buying, especially the own stays MAD, ask for the investment pack, and of course anyone who wants to join below bank value, again, update the group. You can go and check out our training session next Tuesday, see what kind of cult we are running here, and if you feel like it, you can try. Otherwise, it's just nice to explore lah. We had a client who became a part of BBV. Sebelum datang meeting pertama dah jual satu, right? So because he know his friend is about to buy, right, and he bought the same property, he loves the property, his friend is also interested, so by promoting it to his friend, well, he gets something rather than getting nothing lah. So guys, thank you so much for your patience with us. Thank you so much for the support that you have given us. Any inquiries, please be in touch with the team or message me personally. Okay, and I hope and look forward to see you all soon, inshallah. Assalamualaikum guys, good night, bye bye, love you.